people join us. Right. So yes, it's fine to put yourselves on a dark screen if you don't want your face to appear on the screen. So the way that this works is, and how this came about was, I asked myself the question about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I do next? And these Zooms came to me, and they were just such potent energy to them, such really rich energy. And there was a real feeling of, you really need to do this, because even if you don't know what is going to happen next, you're going to get so much pleasure out of this. And one of my ambitions has always been to hold, if you know Abraham Hicks, those kind of in-person webinar type things. And when I fell into the energy, the flow of this, I could see there was that kind of potential. I'm not saying that that's where we're going to end up, but that was sort of the potential of where this could possibly lead if I wanted it to. And so, yeah, it's a really good way of understanding that when you desire something in manifesting, when you're manifesting or desiring something, you don't always need to know the final outcome. You just need to take the first step and allow yourself to follow the flow of what is going on. So tonight's one, as you know, is called Embracing your Future Self, or leaping into your future identity. And the reason I couldn't decide between leap or embrace was that when I felt into it, was that some of you are ready to leap and some of you want to more slowly start the process of embracing. And so what I want to start with tonight is a connection to our higher selves. We'll start there as ever. And then I'm going to ask you, I'm going to do a bit of talking, and I'm going to ask you some questions, which you might want to write down, or if you get any words dropping in, just write those words dropping in. You can go back, listen to this again on YouTube, and then get fuller answers. And the thing I want to say about your future self is that it doesn't have to be around money or success. It can be, if you have been on a physical or mental health journey, it can be to do with that. It could be, what does the future healthy me look like? And what do I need to bring forward in order for that to become my now reality? So it's not always in the future. It's not always something you're aspiring to. In fact, it's something you're drawing into you. And I got goosebumps as I said that. Another version, so for me, for example, my future identity that I'm trying to embrace is one who has a really large business. And so what does that look like for me in a way that brings me ease and balance and clarity and fun? Those are the questions. I don't just want a big business where I'm working 90 hours a week. That's not what I want. I want to work on average 20 hours a week. I want to go on holiday with my family. I want to have lots of fun experiences. So everything I do has to be balanced against that version, and kind of also consolidated within my future successful self. So that's one other version. Another version I got when I was feeling into this was someone who was having impact in a really beautiful way, but not in a face-to-face way. And so I know one of you on here is an author of children's books. So that could be, how can I maximize that impact so I can help as many of my readers as possible, so that the world is a better place? But you're not experiencing that firsthand. You're only experiencing it. You're having success almost indirectly, but how can you embrace that so that it feeds you? And why do you need it to feed you? Because everything we do has to be and should be a circle of love for us. And as a reminder, a circle of love is when it comes from a place that is loving for you, you send it out into the universe in whatever form that is, whether it's through clients, working with clients, or publishing something, or connecting with professionals who can help you on your pathway. And that interaction that you have then feeds love back to you. That is the circle of love. So that your actions uplift you, your experiences uplift you rather than leaving you really drained. So a beautiful circle of love, if you have your own business, is between you, your business, your customers, and then back to you. If it's health, then it will be you, your body, right? Because your body's involved in this. Your medical professionals, if you have any other professionals, health professionals helping you. And then you might even find your home is involved in this, and then back to you. That could be your circle of love. And so we want to make sure that when we're embracing that new identity, we are also embracing that circle of love as well. Okay. So let us start by connecting to our higher selves. They are really excited, isn't right the right. They're anticipatory about this. And the thing that I feel like I just need to say to you is, for some of you, you're going to need to listen to this a few times. And I would always recommend it at the beginning of your day rather than the end of your day. It's not that it won't be effective at the end, but at the beginning of the day, if you listen to this, it's setting the tone for the day that you want to have, that your future self would have, right? If all things being equal and your future self, you were living that life, you would start your day in that energy. That's what we want to really encourage. And the reason why our higher selves have an anticipatory energy about this is they're really curious to see how we as humans, in our physical forms, how we approach this and what we experience. So if you're ready, just close your eyes for me. I'd like you to place your hands on your heart. And I would also just like you to take 3 deep breaths in and out slowly. Breathe out through the mouth, just allowing your shoulders to drop. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, allow your tummy muscles to unclench. We're letting go of any tension we're holding, just allowing our physical bodies to relax. Another deep breath in and out, reminding yourself that truth is, I am safe in this moment. Truth is, I am safe in this moment. And so we're going to go to our pineal gland, which is in the very center of our brain. And we are going to imagine that there's an energetic tube running down from the base of the pineal gland, which is the size of a pea. And the tube runs down from the middle of our brain, down through our throat, past our voice box and our esophagus, down into the middle of the chest, through the breastbone, in between all your organs, past your belly button, down into your perineum. And we're going to fill up this tube with a white light. For some of you, it will be like a bright diamond shining light. For others, it will be a soft glowing light. For some of you, it will be anywhere in between. It's always moving steadily. For some of you, it'll be a fast movement. For others, it'll be a slower one. Whatever you feel, receive, know, see, it's all fine. Just allow the energy to flow as it fills up this tube till the sides are bulging. And inside this white light, there are flashing lights of blues, golds, silvers, reds, greens, bronzes, yellows, coppers, all the colors you can think of, oranges and pinks. These are aspects of your soul, because what we've been filling up is soul energy. Now, our soul knows what is in our soul contract and knows the possibility of what we can achieve. It knows all about our future self and how we can bring in our future self into today. And so we're going to connect our higher self with our soul, and then we will start talking about quantum energy field and move into the next phase. So ask your higher self to come in close and to connect his or her energy via your hope vortex or your solar plexus chakra. That's in the middle of the diaphragm, in the middle of your chest. Don't worry how, your higher self knows exactly what to do about that. And ask your higher self now to wrap her energy or his energy around your soul, around your inner being tube, allowing the connection to deepen between you. And asking her or him for a sign that you are connected. For some of you, it will be a tingle. Others of you will feel your face being stroked or your arm or your hair. Some of you will feel a tickle in your nose or want to sneeze or cough. Whatever you feel is correct for you. So before we move towards the quantum field, what I want you to do now is bring your awareness up to the crown on the top of your head. And I'd like you to imagine that from your pineal gland going upwards is a funnel. And as we look at it, this funnel begins to open up wide, allowing us to receive really clearly from our future self in this session here today. Take a nice deep breath in and out, and know that you are connected through your soul, your inner being, to your higher self and to your future self. Now, everything we want or believe that we deserve or desire already exists in the quantum field. The quantum field is essentially an energy matrix, and it is through our journeys, through our desires, through our wants that we access those future selves. And sometimes we access it in part, and sometimes we access it fully, right? So, for example, if you are choosing to look at your health and how to improve your health, when you have really good days, you're accessing part of it. When you're experiencing consistently good days, consistent improvements in your health, you are accessing more of it. And when you feel really well, really vibrant, really good, you are accessing the whole healthy future version of you and bringing that into your today reality. If you're trying to succeed in business, when you experience success, that is when you are connecting to that future version of you that is successful. And I want you to understand that it's okay if you vacillate between the two. And by that, I mean if you sometimes have a good day and then sometimes you have a rotten day. That is you vacillating between your now reality when you're not feeling brilliant and you're or not as successful or not achieving the things you want to. And then you have a good day where you feel like the world is your oyster and you're really flowing through everything. That is when you are accessing the success flows of your future self. And this is really normal for us to vacillate between the two. So the first thing we're going to do today is feel into the flow of energy between now and the future version of us that we desire, right? So you might have several desires from your future self. I'd like you just to focus on one thing today, just for the ease. Once you've practiced this a few times, you can bring in more flows if you wish. But for today, we want to just focus on one flow. And we want to notice that it flows from our heart to our future self. Now, if it's easier for you to imagine your future self, I want you to imagine in front of you is an open door. And on the other side of the door is your reflection. And this is your future self. And so as you are flowing love from yourself, you are flowing it to that version that exists on the other side of the door. And even as you feel that flow, you might get a feeling from your future self. It might be one of assurance or confidence, or perhaps she feels a little bit shaky or nervous or excited or happy. Just keep a note of that. You don't need to worry too much about it. Now, this flow of love is reciprocal because it's a perfect circle of love between you and you. So allow yourself to flow love to your future self, and then allow it to flow back to you. And as this flow of love goes back and forth, you might notice changes in your physicality. You might notice you relax more, your tension drains out of you a little bit more. You might notice that you snuggle into your chair a bit more or so. And the feeling you get from your heart, from your reflection through the doorway might be of expansion now, of excitement, of conviction, belief, as we make this connection with our future self. And so I'd like you to now think about your one desire that you wish to bring forward. This could be a financial target, a health target. It could be to do with relationships. It could be you want to form a collaboration or a partnership with someone. It doesn't really matter what your desire is. It is important because it is your desire and you are worthy of all that you desire. And so I want you now to project, imagine that desire in a bubble going from your heart to your future self, floating easily and effortlessly through that doorway. And as your future self receives it, notice her holding her hands out and really pulling it in towards her heart. And as she does, he or she stands up a little bit straighter. And you might get another feeling of assurance, of real confidence that this is done. And so we're going to ask her a couple of questions to do with our goal. Right? So the first question I want you to ask your higher self is, what is my body currently afraid of will happen if I should succeed in attaining my desire? So if my desire came true, what is my body currently afraid of? You may wish to write the answer down. You might just wish to sit with the answer. Whatever suits you is absolutely fine. So for some of you, you might notice a feeling coming up, perhaps of sorrow or loss or vulnerability. For others, it might be an ache or a pain suddenly becomes very noticeable. And so if you have noticed a physical reaction to that question, your second question to ask your body and your future self is, what is this feeling in my body trying to tell me? What have I not heard that it's trying to tell me? You might need stronger boundaries. You might need to ask better questions. You might need to have a conversation with someone that eases your mind or answers some questions that you have. And the final question for your body today is, having understood what you're trying to communicate with me and what you need in order to be available to my future self, what is one thing I can do today to help you be ready for our next version? So it could be you need to do some deep breathing regularly, some conscious connected breathing. Or perhaps you need to go and have some physical therapy or some spiritual healing. Perhaps you need to speak to someone, an expert or a coach who can help you clarify and help your body feel safe. When our nervous system and our physicality feel safe, it is much easier for us to step towards who we wish to become. So we're now going to ask our higher self to help us translate even more clearly from our future self when we ask him or her some questions. Your future self already exists, remember. She is experiencing the successes that you wish to experience. She is experiencing the life that you wish to experience, the one filled with freedom of time, choice, perhaps fantastic relationships, great community, great health, all the things you want to experience. So the first question to ask your future self and ask your higher self to really help you hear and receive through the funnel at the top of your head. What is one thing I can do today that will help me experience what it is to be you, my future self? What is one thing I can do today that will help me experience what it is to be you today? And we want to know what our future self feels like and experiences, because if we make that our normality, then when we when we get to that successful version of ourselves, that future version of ourselves, we're like, oh yeah, I know this. This is really comfortable for me. And once again, it reinforces to the body and the nervous system, oh yeah, I'm safe. All is well. I am safe. And it allows us then to experience more and more of the things we desire. Another question for your future self is, what does he or she want me to know today? What does he or she want me to know today? Now, this could be there's something, a belief or a perception or a thought that's getting in your way. It could be that you need to pivot in some way, or you need to try something new. It could be you need to look at, are you trying to achieve success for you, or are you trying to achieve it to prove a point to someone else? These are really common things when we're looking for success and moving forwards towards new iterations. Sometimes our people pleasing can really be ramped up quite high. So, what does your future self wish you to know right now? And the final question to your to your future self with your higher self's help is, if I knew that I could not fail, if I knew that I would be successful, what is one action I can take today that will bring me closer to my goal? So we've been talking to our nervous system and we've been talking to our future self. And so now we're going to just do a little visualization where we're going to step through that door in a moment. And we're going to merge into our future self. And we're going to experience life through her eyes for a few minutes, or his eyes for a few minutes, so that we know and understand what we are aiming towards. So I want you to place your one hand on your tummy, one hand on your heart. The sacral chakra, or the truth vortex, as it's also known, is the seat of your truth. And over your heart is your heart vortex, right? Or your heart chakra. And so we're connecting those two so that we understand what we're getting is true for us and it's coming from the heart. And so I want you to slowly imagine yourself walking towards the door. And when you're ready, stepping forward through the door and merging with your future self. Take a deep breath in and out. See if you get a sense of how far in the future he or she is. And what's the first thing you notice about him or her? He or she might feel warmer, more expanded, more assured or confident. They might feel, you might get a sense of freedom from them, that they're making choices, or perhaps you're getting a feeling of abundance or prosperity from them. For some of you, it might be a feeling of, oh, such relief. I found someone who can really help me in my desires. Notice what you're feeling. And as you're noticing, notice good feelings and notice maybe if there are any feelings of discomfort. So you might feel a bit of heaviness, or you might feel a bit of, I'm not quite sure. That's okay. You're still human, even in your future self. So I want you then to really ramp up the flow of love to your future self and just say to him or her, the truth is we are safe. We are together. We are stronger together. We are safe. Take a deep breath in and out. And if you're noticing any uncomfortable feelings in your body, just allow them to settle as you breathe in and out. So I want you to now look out through the eyes of your future self and tell yourself, what can you see? Notice. Where are you? Are you at a place that you've always wanted to visit? Or are you giving a talk or reading? Or are you chatting to lots of people or someone whom you're intimate with? So you're leaning in and having a really intimate conversation with them. Are you at home or are you elsewhere? Notice. He or she is already living this life in the quantum field. And by noticing and acknowledging and releasing any tension in the body, we're helping to bring this version back to today, making it more likely for us to experience it in the future. Notice what you're wearing. So imagine a mirror appearing and you can see what you're wearing. How do you look? Do you look healthy? Do you look happy? Are you smiling? Perhaps you look proud and confident and you're doing sort of those, they're giving me the image of weightlifters kind of raising up their arms and their biceps and posing in front of the mirror, really pleased with their form, really enjoying looking at their work and their effort and how it's paid off. Can you see some transport nearby? Is it your car or is it a chauffeur driven car? What can you see around you in your environment? Are you by the sea or in a woodland? Are you on holiday or at home? And if you're at home, has it changed? What can you smell? Can you smell the sea or cooking? And what can you hear? Are you with others in a bustling, busy place, or are you in a quiet space? Are you at a reward ceremony? Someone's awarding you with something, or are you getting a round of applause somewhere? Then we come to taste. Can you taste anything? Now, taste can include vibration, not just food and drink. It can actually be, how does the atmosphere feel to you? Does it feel relaxed, abundant, prosperous? Or do you feel slightly unsure? Can you taste tea or coffee or a fresh fruit juice or a cocktail? Or have you eaten something delicious just now in your future self's life? Perhaps you're sipping on champagne, sitting on a boat somewhere. And there is the sun on your face, blue seas around you, and this is your idea of heaven. And as you visualize all of this, I want you now to ask your future self, of all the things you've experienced in this visualization, what can I bring back today that I can come back to each day as I work towards blending with you and becoming one with you? And finally, we're going to invite our future self to step back through the gateway, back into our now reality with us. We're going to invite her in or him in because we are eager, not anxious, we are eager to make this our now reality. And so your higher self is going to help your future self step back through the doorway with you. You might notice that you're sitting upright more, or you might notice there's an ache in your diaphragm or your tummy. And you can just ask your body, what is that about? What do I need to know about this as my future self steps back with me into my now reality? And you might get a message from your future self who is now in your now reality. It might be, don't rush, enjoy the journey, notice, enjoy, take pleasure in the simple things. Don't be in a rush to get where I am. The journey is as important as the destination. And I want you to invite your future self to come and sit in your heart with you. Allow her to snuggle down and expand into your heart area. Allow her to really root herself into now. And the reason we're doing this is it will help make that future version of you more of a reality. You're bringing forward to yourself right now all her successes or his successes, all that they have achieved. You're bringing all the mistakes and solutions they've found. You're absorbing from your future self all the things you need to know, the answers to the questions I asked that will help you be more successful in all your desires. Because once you've learnt this practice, you can keep doing it over and over again to help you move faster and faster through your journey of desire. I want you to thank your future self for agreeing to come back to our now reality and for all the wisdom that he or she is sharing with you. You already had your higher self acting as your cheerleader, and now your future self has come back to now to add to that potency. You are so immense. You are designed for success and for thriving. You are designed to experience abundance and prosperity and good health and to feel like life is worth living. And so we're going to give our future self, who's now sitting in our heart, a big hug, a huge thank you for all the wisdoms they're going to impart. And take a deep breath. Begin to notice the chair beneath you, floor beneath your feet. Allow the funnel at the top of your head to begin to close. You can open it whenever you wish, but I don't recommend leaving it open all the time. Sometimes the flow of information can be a bit overwhelming. And then notice your body begin to feel your fingers and toes. Have a stretch. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. And so before I turn the recording off, I just want to give you a few minutes to write down anything you receive that you wish to for your own sake, so you don't have to hold it in your mind, and remind you that you can listen to this recording as often as you want to connect to your future self, to embrace your new, more successful, more healthy, more vibrant, more creative, more future self that exists already within the quantum field. And as I said at the beginning, I recommend you listen to this in the morning before you start your day so that you set your day up right and allow yourself to rapidly begin to live your future self's experience. And before you know it, that becomes your today experience. And as that happens, your desires will evolve. And once again, you can step towards your future self again. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoy it. As ever, this will be loaded to the YouTube channel. And I would love to hear how you found it. Please share on the YouTube channel any comments. And of course, share this with any friends you think might benefit from listening to it.